Some of us are new to YouTube and some of us have been around a long time, but we are all small content creators and we are wanting to grow our channels. We want to increase our views, we want to increase our subscribers, we want to build a community. We want all these things. So what do? We go headlong into the analytics because we need to understand what makes a good video. What is my channel actually doing? I need to understand all of it. Now, analytics can be an amazing tool, can be absolutely incredible. There is so much free information from YouTube on your channel that most of you, some of you, will never have ever even looked at. Because it's so overwhelming. What do these things even mean? However, what I would say is proceed with caution, because unless you understand the analytics, it can be so dangerous. It can be totally misleading, really confusing, and just overwhelming. So what do we do? What do we do? Do we bother with the analytics or do we not? Well, I would say yes. And no, let me explain. It's so easy to get hung up on the numbers, the views, the subscribers, the click-through rates, the impressions, the reach, the engagement, the retention rates, all of it. It is so overwhelming. What do they all actually mean? And does it actually matter? Which ones are important to look at? Which ones are less so important? Which ones should we start with? Which ones should we not bother with at all? Well, there is a myriad of answers to that, but I'm going to give you one example to show you how it can be really misleading just to look at one particular metric that everybody tells us is the most important of all. All of the experts, anybody that you will talk to will tell you, you need this metric to be as high as possible. Well, I'm just going to disprove that. So I am Deb and this is The Wild Edit and this is my brand new channel. In video on my other channel, it is nearly 77,000 views at the moment, which is insanely good for me and my channel. And if we have a look at the actual click-through rate and the number of impressions, this might just surprise you. Since publication, this video has reached 1.2 million impressions, which is just insanely good. But the click-through rate is only 4.8%, which is a little bit lower than the average of it's okay. It's not a great click-through rate, but yet that has meant that the views are 70 odd thousand. So overall, that video has performed really well. So just looking at the click-through rate itself, and you might say, well, the click-through rate is sort of average, but even if I'd had a lower click-through rate, because the impressions were so high, the real number of viewers is going to be high. So even if I had a terrible click-through rate of like 2%, I'm still getting 20 odd thousand views, which is far higher than a lot of these other ones that we're even looking at. So what I'm trying to say is don't get the percentage and the number. At the end of the day, we want the impressions to be as high as possible and the click-through rate to be as high as possible in a perfect scenario. So all of this means, and it sounds really confusing, but what I'm trying to say by that is when you analyze each video, when you look at something in isolation, it can give you a misleading view, because you could look at one of those videos that I showed, video A or B, and you could say, well, in isolation, the one with the highest click-through rate is the best video. They both come out with the same number of views. So it's like, does it really, really matter? What I think matters more than drilling into the numbers is to actually just say, how do I make my video as appealing as possible? And so it will get the reach. It will get as many impressions as it possibly can. We're giving the algorithm the biggest helping hand possible. And when it is shown to people, how do I make it clickable that somebody will see it? So how do we get it onto people's pages? And once it's on there, how do I get somebody to click? And that's where the title of the thumbnail, eye-catching and all of that comes into play. So I wouldn't get so hung up on the analytics. at this stage, and there is a caveat coming up on that as well, I would just concentrate on making the best possible videos that you enjoy making, that are clear, concise, the algorithm knows, the audience knows what they can expect from you and your videos, from your channel, and make them as clickable as possible without them being clickbaity, because if they are clickbaity, then you might get decent views on that one, but people won't keep coming back. So let's make it longer term view. We are going to look at patience. We are going to practice patience, and we're in it for the long term, and we want sustainable growth. So that is what we're going to put all our efforts into. The caveat with analytics is, if you are a geek like me and you want to understand where something went well or where something went wrong, analytics can be an amazing tool. I love the numbers, and I love understanding and trying to get into drilling into why. So if you enjoy the analytics, and if you can take numbers for what they are and what they're actually showing, if you can look at the bigger picture overall, then fill your boots with analytics, but just don't get hung up on it, particularly in the early days, and particularly if you're not a numbers person, because it will just confuse the heck out of you. So concentrate on the things that you can control. And that is it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on another one.